I am uncertain whose wisdom coined the term, adversity does not build character, but reveals it. This characterizes our Mayor Fule, who throughout these challenging times has met adversity of all kinds with kindness, compassion, patience, and mindfulness. And I want to thank Mayor Fule for his leadership, transparency, and commitment to helping Strathmore stay connected. Thank you, Mayor. I also want to say, from a personal perspective, that it has been a rare privilege to serve under your leadership. One question that may be on people's minds is, when did I become Deputy Mayor? Strathmore elects one mayor and 6 councillors in each 4-year term. And a deputy mayor's role is to step in when the mayor isn't available or to represent the town at an event. Strathmore's councillors each serve an 8-month term as deputy mayor, and I was appointed in July and will be deputy mayor until February of 2021 when the next councillor takes their place as deputy mayor. So it's been a pleasure and continues to be a pleasure to serve on this council. As of yesterday's update from Alberta Health, there are 4 cases of COVID-19 in Strathmore. Masks are not mandatory in Strathmore, but we firmly recommend and strongly encourage you to use a mask when physical distancing is not possible. A mandatory face mask bylaw is not in effect in Strathmore at this time. The town of Strathmore has prepared a bylaw regarding mandatory face use mask in our community that can be brought before council if and when the need arises. This bylaw would be debated by council and then it would be passed or defeated. Pandemics require swift, decisive and strategic actions to promote the safety of our public. And the town of Strathmore has provided highly effective leadership to respond to the changing demands of COVID-19. And we're prepared to take further actions to protect our community if the need arises. Your town reviews all the policies and procedures regularly to find a good fit and the right actions for our community. And one example that we announced yesterday is that the Family Centre has adjusted its COVID-19 protocols to allow players to return to the change rooms following the practices. This action balances the need to ensure physical distancing in spaces in our facilities with the reality that in colder weather, players shouldn't be expected to head directly from the arena to their cold vehicles in their very sweaty gear. And I know my own grandson, who's a goalie, will be really thrilled with this announcement. We welcome your feedback as we continue to find made in Strathmore solutions and strategies for COVID-19 response. Providing input on the decisions of council is your absolute right, and we really welcome them. And we work hard to provide opportunities for residences and businesses to share your feedback with us. If you want to share an opinion or ideas on mandatory face mask bylaw for Strathmore, please share it on our online form, and we're sharing the link with you now. Over the past month, we've been gathering feedback on our potential prohibited business bylaw regarding conversion therapy. Our online feedback form has received almost 150 responses, and many more residences and businesses have reached out to myself and my fellow councillors as well. We want all residents to have an opportunity to be fully informed and engaged in this really important decision. We have a dedicated webpage on our town page and are encouraging public feedback until the end of September. If you haven't had an opportunity to share your feedback, I really encourage you to read the information that we've posted and use the survey link to share your thoughts with council. And of course, council's information is also posted on the town page, and you must feel free to contact any of your councillors or our mayor regarding this. There has also been a lot of attention recently on how schools are responding to COVID-19. I want to thank especially Superintendent Bevan Davern for his presentation with Mayor Fule 2 weeks ago. I know that many of your questions were answered, and that also I understand that many uncertainties remain. I also want to recognize the teachers, staff, students, and parents who are finding their way right now. I am filled with admiration for your oversight for all of our children and grandchildren, and for the fortitude that you're showing as we meet this latest challenge. Teachers, I especially want to recognize and acknowledge your courage and your care, because you too are now frontline, and we want you to know that you have our support. And personally, you have my heart and my admiration. Additionally, the Strathmore Overnight Shelter has been challenged by the impact of COVID-19, and they are in dire need of volunteers in many, many capacities. If you have time to share your talents, please reach out through their website or Facebook page. We're sharing the link now. I would also like to thank Pastor Elizabeth Karp of the Harvest Healing Center and her really dedicated team for the work that they're doing to uplift people in our community. And if you can find a space in your life to share the burden that her team is facing, we'd be most appreciative. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day. The theme for this year is working together to prevent suicide. This message marks the importance of communities everywhere coming together to recognize the impact of suicide and to strive with everything we have within us to prevent it. At times, the work of suicide prevention can feel absolutely overwhelming, but we know that even small acts can make a huge difference. World Suicide Prevention Day reminds us that our teamwork and solidarity make us stronger together. We invite you to show your support and join us at Kinsman Park in the amphitheater to light a candle. The program runs tonight from 7 p.m. until 8:30. If you can't join us in Kinsman Park, we would encourage you to light a candle at your home to show your support to the survivors and to the allies of those survivors, and to remember especially those who have passed. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or thoughts of suicide, please call the Suicide Prevention Line at 1-800-784-2433. Council met yesterday for our Committee of the Whole. One of the topics we discussed was the new Strathmore Municipal building. There really has been tremendous progress on this project over the summer. Last week, we shared some drone photos of the site that highlighted the work being done right now. The improvements to the area around the Farmers Market Pavilion is a tremendous bonus to Kinsman Park. One question that came up in the comments was how the project will affect the amount of green space in the park. Since 2011, there has actually been a 40% increase in the size of Kinsman Park from 18 to 24 acres. And this came as a result of the foresight of a previous council to purchase the additional 9 acres that was on the back side. And so we're really grateful to those people who came before us in doing that. So around the new building, areas that required plants to be removed, even during construction, will be re-landscaped. Improvements to the parking and year-round bathrooms are important amenities for Kinsman Park, and they will help make this space more accessible for our entire community. And we are really excited about the changes that we see coming. It is almost autumn, and a lot of people are cleaning up their yards and gardens. There is one item on your yard work that needs a few more weeks to get started, though. We've had questions about pruning and tree care over the summer. Pruning many types of trees before they're dormant can attract and spread pests like bark beetles. Strathmore has a glorious urban forest with thousands of trees, and the best way to protect those trees is to check with an arborist or read more about caring for that specific type of tree. Oak and elm are 2 trees that are best pruned at the beginning of October. If tree care is on your gardening list, as it is on mine, then check with an expert before you get to work. And we will have more news to share about Strathmore's trees in the weeks ahead, and it's good news. Sadly, a few of Strathmore's notable local businesses have closed their doors over the summer. More than any other action in this community, the biggest help to our businesses is for our community to shop local. We have incredible stores and shops in Strathmore, businesses that have been open for decades, and young entrepreneurs who are just starting out. Please make an effort to support these businesses today. And it's really good to remember that these are the businesses that support our local sports teams and our athletics. They support our schools and so many endeavors in our community. So I really make a plea to you to support your local businesses. And I thank them for their resilience during some really challenging times. There was sad news from the Siksika Nation this week when they announced the passing of another revered elder. Yvonne Blackhorse passed away last week. Yvonne was the mainstay in her family and in the Siksika community. She was immensely and highly regarded by everyone who knew her. And she contributed enormously over the course of her life to the well-being of her family and community, and we with Siksika mourn her passing. So we have some questions today. There is a question about a curfew for young people in town. The writer is concerned that when they have called the RCMP regarding problems with kids in the community, they've been referred back to municipal enforcement. I thank you for sharing this question, and I would like to refer it back to town staff and assure you that they will look into it and get back to you directly. And thanks for this question. So thank you, Strathmore. I hope you have a wonderful time in the week ahead, and I am very, very grateful that our mayor will be sitting in this chair in the same place and the same time next week. And I would also like to recognize our very, very competent and kind comms team. Thank you very much. And so we look forward to the next Facebook Live will be on September 24th at 1 p.m. Thank you.